what's going on.
What did we just smoke on?
We smoked first on G13, and then I packed some Black Rhino.
What did we call it last time?
Perfecto.
Oh, the big one. Damn
Episode
it.
16.
Where's my... I just heard my phone. Is it next to you?
Are we gonna smoke something during?
I mean, we
Shit,
can.
it is.
Yeah, we can.
What would you roll during? I want to say the title first.
I'll go with G13.
Alright.
That's it.
I'm ready. Oh, you wanna wait?
No, I ain't grabbing his money.
Dinero.
So, how's your week been, Chris? How's everything been going?
Oh, we're starting?
Yeah, we're already.
I thought he was like asking.
Damn,
I already told you. I don't want to get too personal
I'm
here.
great, how are you?
But I just want, this is number 16, G13. Oh, that would have been cool if it would have been whatever.
G16.
Right. Just add 3
Whatever.
to it.
Yeah.
My week's been interesting, man. My week has been it's kind of like weird because with all the chaos in the world and shit, my world is quite calm. You know what I'm saying? Like I, in my little bubble, you know what I'm saying? There's a park in front of my crib, and in the back I can see trees and shit.
Yeah.
And I see birds and shit, and you know, and I don't see nothing, bro. But I know right now it's kind of chaotic for multiple reasons. I just learned today because of Vino, there's like planets doing some crazy. They're dancing or some shit.
Oh yeah, look, let me verify. Keep
And
talking.
then and there's a full moon, and then there was the
gonna be
epidemic.
What is it, a full lunar eclipse tonight?
Yeah, there's a few
and it's supposed to be like a strawberry moon or something.
So check
like a
this
red
out.
moon.
Okay, so today, June 5th, 2020, there's a full moon eclipse. The sun and the moon are going to be in opposition, and Mars, they're going to be basically T-squaring the planets Mars and Neptune. Mars stands for anger, Neptune stands for confusion, and they're squaring the eclipse in Sagittarius, which is the pursuit of truth. In other words, some very intense energy.
So that sounds like exactly what's happening right now, simultaneous to.
One more. So the last time Saturn was in Aquarius was during the Rodney King riots.
Okay.
The last time Pluto was in Capricorn was during the American Revolution.
Right.
Neptune was in Pisces when Rome fell. I just named 3 individual events, and they're all 3 happening right now.
Well, those planets.
Yeah. Not
all
the
at the same
Yeah.
time.
I mean, Rome might not fall now.
Well, the Vatican.
The Vatican might finally be exposed.
Fall, bro. Roma might fall, like if he trips over something.
Yeah.
But that happens often though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very conscious.
You play sports, right? What sports did you play? Soccer or football?
I used to when I was 4. 4 or
soccer?
5. Yeah, I played soccer, and then
That's what the average Mexican
hockey.
does, is play soccer first. I mean, I played soccer first.
Yeah, I
It
played inline
lasts, that's all
hockey.
I'm learning.
when I was
You played
at
hockey?
Yeah.
Did you get any hockey fights?
I got into a few. I was always in the penalty box for it. I was always starting shit though.
Then you got, did you get any concussions?
I
You
wouldn't
had
know.
to, right? No?
Not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't know.
Oh.
Concussions weren't really a well-known thing when
Right,
I
it
was
was
my
my
age.
Will Smith movie, right? Back then.
I was the experimental group. if you
The word
wanna-
CTE didn't exist back then.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you had it. That's what I was trying to build up to. If you have it or not. Probably if they scanned your brain, right?
Yeah,
I probably got some kind of CTE too.
I probably do. I mean, I am forgetful on stuff. That's probably a result of all the impacts I've taken in the head.
I've been in some car accidents,
Damn.
so that's where probably if I have CTE. You know what's crazy? Whenever you find out, like I'm not gonna say what it is because my sister doesn't want me to say, but she reminded me about an event that happened when we were kids that I just totally blocked out. She says that her boyfriend does the same thing. Like there's events that he'll ask like his cousin who lived with him for a while, and he'll remind him of shit. He's like, "Whoa, I don't even." So it's almost like as a coping mechanism, we block shit out, bro, so we don't go crazy, I guess. Especially, I guess, if you're around traumatic. I mean, that's known. You know what I'm saying? If you have traumatic experiences.
Yeah, well, your brain, in order to keep you from killing yourself, has to create
Or everybody else.
shield. Yeah. The Terrence is kind of Joker. What's his name? The recent Joker. What's his name?
Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix.
that Joker, not the other.
You know what I just read today? That he was eating apples, asparagus, and something else, and that's it for a while. He lost 50 pounds for that role.
So he went vegan.
dedication right
Yeah,
there.
but I bet his piss smell like shit.
Yeah.
Asparagus,
Oh,
bro. They
they-
say if you eat it like right away, your piss smells like.
I can confirm. Yeah, if you eat asparagus and you go piss later on, sometimes they go like, "Oh, what's that?" Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty
Damn.
dank. It's
Real?
pretty dank. Yeah, it's gonna be dank.
And that's like, what? I don't know. It was like a third of his whole diet. You know, his
Damn.
piss. Dang.
Damn, that sounds.
He might have fucked up his plumbing. That's it.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
torture, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, man.
It's like getting. Y'all ever had burning piss? I had burning piss one time.
Damn, I feel like
Nah.
I feel like we're hitting TMI territory.
Is it? I mean, the reason I want to say that, and I'm not even ashamed, is because I want kids out there to know, put on the fucking condom, bro. There's medicines, but you don't want to go through that shit, man. It'll bring a gangster to his knees, crying, because a drop of pee come out the tip, you know what I mean? That is too much
Or you
information.
could just do as the Lord intended and be abstinent until you marry.
That's
Let
asking
the
too
white
much
guy
of this
in
generation
here.
now.
Get out of here, Caucasian. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, some Caucasians are cool, man. You know, they're not all bad. Whatever.
They're not all bad. Damn.
Some are really cool.
You sound like a Caucasian racist talking about a black person right now. You know what? They're not all bad.
Yeah, most
Will Smith is pretty nice. You know what I'm saying?
But what I mean, cause like, all right, so prison, the prison industrial complex,
Oh.
Jim Crow, all that shit is because of white supremacy,
You're
right?
hitting me with a lot of shit right now, bro.
White supremacy. That's the key reason. That's why in Indian culture, Mexican culture, they always go for the light skin in the movies, in the novelas, Bollywood. That's why Lil Wayne talks about like he'd rather be with a yellow bone and shit. Like it's white supremacy that's been drilled into our brain.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks for you.
You too. I mean everybody.
I feel you. Yeah.
But we're more what? We understand that it's just mind control. Brainwashing. But what I was gonna say, the topic I want to talk about something more simple and then lighter is that why do men have nipples?
What the?
I think women were created first, and then we were created after.
Oh man.
Because why else would we have nipples?
Well,
No.
this is also natural, right? The woman, okay, what does a woman do? Give birth. Men can't give birth, so it only makes sense that women probably did exist first. It's like
Right.
who came first, the chicken or the egg? I think in order for her to be an egg, that
Had
had
to
to be
be a
chicken
chicken.
to lay that motherfucker.
Yeah.
What are you getting so close for?
Getting stuff.
Getting some Buddha. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm sipping on some adrenochrome right now. Just kidding. What if that's a trigger word? What if I just?
What if you just?
Well, see, think about it. It's
Flagged
not a
us.
word that's very common, so if you say it, you know,
There.
You know, the good thing is like I kind of slur my words, so I don't speak very clearly.
because you're a southerner.
Yeah. So a lot of times they might not catch the twang and actually what I'm saying. Like I was watching my podcast with the closed caption, and when I said, you know what I'm saying, it said Sam.
Yeah.
Right now for that, it would have had a little caption that was some little parentheses, stupid laugh. Right now, stupid laugh.
It's weird how it knows, bro, because I'll put like one of my tracks in the beginning and it'll say music.
That's creepy.
You
I
know.
kind of don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Shows you they're always listening.
It knows too much.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, fuck it, bro. There's no secrets, right? I mean, obviously there is secrets, but
Of course, there's.
and one day they might just put us on a. What if we find out that we're like a Truman Show to like the 1%? I'm sure they're watching this, right? And they're flipping through, seeing the most
I think
entertaining.
how
We're probably bored as
How
fuck. They're
bored?
probably not
Yeah,
watching
how am I
this.
gonna say how bored must they
You
be?
gotta be
They
watching
pay
like.
people to do this.
It's like
There's
let's
something
make their
NSA.
lives even worse. Let's see, is it really?
They probably only watch like the celebrities,
Yeah.
Think so?
like Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Hudson, all the Jennifers, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, you talking about perverted
Jennifer
kind of
Lopez.
shit? You
Yeah.
talking about like creep? Oh, you talking about how? Okay.
You think I'm like spying, like looking for terrorists type of shit?
Nah, I think about like you said, like look at these regular poor people. Let's watch their lives.
Yeah.
I said, how boring must that be?
I know, right? What kind of TV show that's
It's like, bro.
I think if you reach a certain level of fame around either the state or the community, they'll start monetizing, looking at you, watching what the fuck you're doing. Yeah. Hand me one of these.
What?
Hand me one of these.
You have one of those in your hand right now.
No, these
don't
are
you?
empty.
So my week, bro, I can't complain. I slept a lot, I napped a lot. I'm on vacation right now from work.
I'm on a 12-month vacation, right in the middle of that motherfucker right now.
You know, I was thinking, bro, I have the perfect job
Thank you.
for who I am.
Yeah, but fuck you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I have the perfect job for a lazy motherfucker, man.
Hey, you didn't have to say it like that, but that's basically what it is.
Nah, that's a joke. I'm
Who
just saying.
said, nah, it's all good. I'm lazy, but I'm a hard worker. You
For
know?
those people
You
who don't
work
know,
hard to be lazy.
Chris is a teacher. That's what I'm saying.
Assistant.
Assistant, whatever.
I'm a teacher.
In my
assistant.
mind, he's a teacher. He teaches me every time I see him.
Oh, that's what's up, bro.
That's so cute.
I just, when I get that teacher salary, that's when I'll be like, oh yeah, teacher.
That's right. I better say it right. Professor Benitez.
No, that's when you have your master's.
Thank
One day that'd be
God,
good.
all these little dang.
Certificates. And
All these
diplomas.
hoops that the man makes you jump through to get these titles, Chris, that don't mean a thing.
We're just
Yeah.
clowns in their circus.
Because
bro.
we've been propagandized to believe that a title means something.
Walking on
Chris.
tight ropes. You know what I'm saying? Risking our lives, breaking our necks for the man, to entertain, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you can say. We are their pawns.
Do you believe in the Anunnaki?
Those Anunnaki basically the people who seeded what is human race, right?
Yeah. And the, I mean, it's like an alternate theory. It's, I guess,
I believe
demons and shit.
I believe in that they seeded, like that there are, that there are people that came, that there are beings that were not originally from this planet that came and seeded what became the human race. But the whole Nibiru thing about I'm very open on that. I have no,
It's a stretch, and from
Yeah.
what I read, it's been debunked in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know how we feel about that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
I bet if we looked up Adrenochrome, it's probably debunked too. Like,
Yeah.
Who would take this?
But tell me a little bit about what?
Nibiru?
Yeah.
Oh, this must be a 2012 podcast then, huh?
Bro, I saw a meme that
Man, I
said,
was fucking like a teenager at this time, dog. So
Bro.
you gonna have to.
but there was a meme that said, what if like the Aztec or the Mayan that was doing it put 2012 was like dyslexic and meant to put 2021? Yeah.
Oh,
They
no,
just
mom
fucked
is
it.
weak.
He's like, they hit him in the head.
Well, they'll
like,
figure it out when 2012 comes and nothing happens.
Yeah. They're like, alright, fuck it, he already made it. Nibiru is supposed to be this planet. It's like the 13th planet or some shit that comes around every 26,000 years or something. The last time it came around, I think it fucked with the dinosaurs.
Oh wait, we're talking about celestial bodies.
Maybe that's what I mean.
Yeah, that includes moon, because some of the bodies included moons back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, there's only 9 planets, but you're right. They call it 12. I guess we'll call it the 12th celestial
Bodies.
object.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And so supposedly, so one of the theories is that they have us like mining gold for them because they use gold for their technologies and shit and all that shit. So supposedly that's why the Federal Reserve has all that gold and now it's empty and they gave it to them for, you know, we're just slaves to them.
So now we're jumping from white supremacy to alien supremacy. Damn.
Man.
Yeah, this is all just this is a pothead.
I mean, but
this might not even. This is probably not real.
We're just their slaves, and all they want is gold. What are they, Samsung? All
And
they
they
want
put
is
the white people in charge, boy.
What are they going to do? Hey, teachers, what's going on here?
I don't know. They got like badass Samsung phones up there.
I know
Space phones.
that they got the iPhone 35 up there. You know,
Yeah,
with the
who
gold
knows,
they took
bro?
from Earth.
They got like 7G and shit. You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
transporting and shit.
They got 7G and everyone's got like a third eye sticking out or something because of the radiation
Yeah,
from
like-
5G, 6G.
Yeah, who knows, man. So supposedly it's coming back, right? And there's pictures and stuff that if you can see like certain aspect, like when the sun is going down or the sun is coming up. And you know, I haven't seen chemtrails in a long time, but there used to be a lot of chemtrails. And it looked like you would see the sun over here, and it looked like they were trying to cover up like a little source of light.
I'll
So
tell you-
like two suns, like in Star Wars.
I'll tell you one thing I did notice. I noticed that when I stayed in Colorado, we stayed in a place that was really in the city of Alamosa. We stayed in a hotel that was really close to like the mountains, right? So you could see clear as fucking day throughout the
Horizon.
Yeah. So anyhow, but it was in the little town. It'd be open skies, right? Clear skies. But when you go to the hotel and you look towards the top of the mountain, there's like huge, very like thick ass clouds. And that made me think these clouds are fake, and they put these here so that people won't see what comes in and out of these mountains during the day.
Yo, that's another theory. What they officially say is that there's what's it called? That they're dropping tiny pieces of metallic particles
Get the fudge out.
to
What the
reflect
fuck?
the sun from global warming
Dropping these from where? Like
in the plains,
from the sky.
in the sky. So that's why it comes like a trail, and it's not the same as a contrail. And bro, there's no as much as like people will, there's no mainstream media conspiracy theorist person that will admit to anything about it. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but from what the little research I've done, they've admitted that they've dropped that shit in the sky for that to reflect the sun. So that's fucking stupid.
What's up, Dick Greg?
Man, that's
So like there's
great.
like farmers who they have land, right? And so they'll check like their water after this shit would happen. And I've seen like little news reports and shit on YouTube. And they'll send it into a lab and they'll come back and it has like mercury,
wow.
aluminum, and just all this shit that they're like, why the fuck are they doing that? It's not, I mean, and the excuses for global warming, but that's some stupid shit.
Yeah, that's a massive excuse right there.
R.I.P. Dick Gregory. Nick Cannon's supposed to be coming out with that documentary. That's weird as fuck.
Who about Dick Gregory?
About Dick Gregory.
Nick Cannon has a documentary coming out with Dick Gregory, the guy who just dissed Eminem for like 3 straight months, a few months ago.
I mean, can you blame him for dissing Eminem? Eminem took black culture. I love Eminem, but I don't know.
Yeah, they the party though. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, oh, I got scared.
It's all good.
Cherry popping, my bad.
So this is another person making a diss track on Eminem?
Yellowstone over here.
Nick Cannon. You didn't know that?
I didn't either. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Why?
Well, they both dated Mariah Carey, and then Nick Cannon recently became woke and is like wearing all this African attire,
Yeah.
and just out of nowhere he just dissed Eminem, and I don't know why.
Okay, so there, you talk about he became woke. I automatically think of that Russell Brand guy. Do you think that his woke, quote unquote, wokeness was legit, or was it just to sort of bullshit?
Rob, half the shit he says I don't understand him, and then he kind of disappeared, so maybe he's legit.
Think so?
I don't know.
Nah, he's been on YouTube hardcore.
He's got a podcast or
Yeah,
some shit,
yeah,
right?
and he does like a
Millions or
yeah.
what?
He
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm talking about he has a lot like he didn't just disappear. If you go to his YouTube, he's been there every day for the past ever since that shit happened, bro. So that's why I wonder. You didn't really get out of the public. You talk about how everything's evil, right? Like you went and called out Hugo Boss for making uniforms for the Nazis, right? At the fashion show, my guy. But yeah. So you would think that someone like that would want to step away, but it kind of seems like he did. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, when Dave Chappelle says, "I'm gonna do my show, get my money, and get the fuck out," and he does it, then you can't hate. He did it. You know what I'm saying? If he was still around doing specials, fucking around at the award shows, you'd be like, "Man, this fool bullshit, bro." You know what I'm saying?
But he really dipped out, man.
Seems like it. Seems like it.
That boy's a legend.
He is, man. Skate.
That's the thing about comedy, bro. A lot of times comedians, and I noticed this as a kid, comedians are like usually the most honest people when it comes to like current events.
And that's the thing I was thinking about. We don't have that no more.
It's hard now.
There's no more woke comedians. and
Dave Chappelle might be the last one,
and
bro.
I think we know why. Because they don't want that no more.
Yeah,
they don't want no Carlins. They don't want no.
And that's fucked up because that's freedom of speech, man.
Yeah, but see, the entertainment industry. There's no
Yeah.
It's the propaganda industry. We talk about we talk about
The
entertainment
machine.
industry. Yeah, it's the machine. They only want their message spread. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they're supposed
That's why
to.
Comedy Central fell off, bro.
Yeah, they're supposed to tell you what to think. They don't want you to think for
That's why
yourself.
television programming, it's called that because they're programming. They want to program
There
us.
you go. I like that.
Man,
Man.
dropping knowledge on this motherfucker.
Yeah. Professor Benitez.
Professor X. Whenever I was like younger and I was trying to come up with a name,
Yeah.
I was like Professor X, Lil X, Dr. X,
I always look.
Mr. X.
Because I try to explain to my sister how I understand her, and her boyfriend is actually really into Spider-Man. So I explained it to like this. You gotta think of it like this: that I'm like Professor X, and my little sister's like Jean Grey. You know what I'm saying? She has in other words, she's very powerful, but she hasn't got control of it yet.
That's cool.
That was a little TMI for the podcast, right? All right.
Maybe, but I feel like my
Yeah.
sister's the same. I don't think my sister listens, and if she does, I'll find out from this, and then I won't talk about her again.
What's up, man?
Yeah, I doubt. Oh, you shouldn't have said her name. That's not really her name. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Hey, she's gonna be mad at you.
Nah.
Who? Is that even her real name?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I always felt like I could never date a girl with the same name as my sister,
That'd be weird.
right? Or my mom. But what sucks, my mom's name is Maria, so that's like the most common
It's like a
fucking
lot of
name.
girls, yeah.
Yeah, bro. There's a couple girls in my past that could have been wifey and shit, but I don't know. I think sometimes I think everything happens for a reason. I'm back and forth with that. I'm back and forth. Sometimes I think it happens for a reason, or maybe some things, and then some things I think it's just sporadic, bro, random.
Yeah, I don't think anyone that would want to date someone with like your sister or your mom's name or your grandma's name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just don't want that. And then one day, just that picture comes in your head saying their name. But I mean, the good thing is I never called my mom Maria.
Obviously.
Yeah,
You know, some people call their parents by their first name. That's weird.
weird. Yeah, I feel like this is respectful.
Yeah, some people.
You does that? You do that?
But,
Just pointing at you.
TMI, right?
So I say woman. I love my mom.
That's what I say. Woman! This bull.
Woman.
Totally not sexist.
I know.
Come on, Paul.
Paul what?
Paul of, what was his name? He didn't have a first last name.
Paul.
Just call him Saul.
Walker?
Let's call him Saul of Tarsus.
Saint Paul.
Oh, yeah. Okay, obviously, someone might wonder, who's Paul Saul of Tarsus? It's because Chris and I came up on this theory that we believe that
Paul bamboozled a lot of people.
Yeah, that we kind of sort of, and Drew going to summarize it, we're not going to get into it, but we believe that the Bible was written to sort of conquer the world, and
it worked.
And yeah, because obviously a lot of that stuff that they say in there is probably not stuff that Jesus would do or would say or God would want you to do or stuff like that. Yeah, you know, and you know what the evidence in there shows, you know what I'm saying? You know, we agree. We don't need to, I don't think we need to debate it or anything.
Nah, for sure. I think we're at a consensus about that. What about you, Romo? What do you think? You ever read the Bible? You ever cracked it open, you heathen?
He's a heathen, man. He's a
And I've
heathen.
skimmed through it here and there.
Yeah.
I can't really say I've sat down and read the entire Bible, but I get the gist of it.
What's cool is, alright, so I grew up with Jehovah's Witness a little bit, right, for a few years. And they'll read the book, bro. And what's kind of fucked up is their own interpretation, so it is skewed a little bit. But they'll actually read it, and then they have these books that have like all the stories for the kids. So you get like the basic.
Hey, when I was a kid, I had that beginner's Bible.
That too, that's pretty cool because it has like you know the one about the lion and the lion's den and the burning bush where old boy gets high and
Gasp.
Noah. You know all the main story. Now they don't throw in the story like that one where it's like in Genesis where it's this old man who gets
I'm
drunk.
gonna put this out there. We should do a future episode where when we do that. We say in the Bible, burning bush. This is what it really meant. We should take some stuff out of the Bible and try to see what our takes on it are.
Yeah.
We should do this in either the next episode or future episode.
That sounds cool.
It's gonna take planning, but I think we should do it.
Do a little bit of research and shit.
As soon as it's over, I'm gonna forget I said this, so you have to remember.
Yeah, but for sure the burning bush, bro. And they say, I mean, they say it had like chemicals in it. Like DMT,
Bro,
it's
I love
DMT, right?
how we're about to say the same shit. All right, watch this. So you know how it said that when the freed slaves, they went through the desert for 40 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it said, the reports are like they had this light that followed them in the day that guided them, and at night it also gave them light and protection. I mean, it's not like they had spaceships in these fam. You know, and when God told Moses, yo, I'm gonna talk to you on top of this mountain, but don't let nobody come near. And you tell them if anyone comes near where you're going, they will die. They will get it. They will, and basically, radiation. Makes you sound like something that gives off radiation is about to land and talk to Moses, my guy. And then what'd he come down with? Those 10 tablets.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I really believe that aliens and angels and demons are the same. They're one and the same. I feel like.
Sneak preview of the Bible episode right there.
It's Biblio. Is Biblio? Biblia?
Biblia? Yeah.
Bubbly.
La Biblia?
La Biblia.
Yeah. El Biblio? Ah.
I'm bad about
It's funny, right? It's the Bible is so against women, but it's called La Biblia. It's called El Biblio.
It is so misogynistic.
Yeah, patriarchal is the word.
They take and anything that's like in it that was in it, they take it out. Like there's some in the Apocrypha. There's a couple books about a couple of chicks, but I don't really. Some chick named Beth. I don't know what she did.
I know, right?
She baked a pie or something. Nah.
Damn, bro.
Nah, but Paul. Okay, the interesting thing about Paul is he used to. Then you about to set the whole place on fire. Paul had a woman with him, and that was like the first. He baptized the woman. And that was like the first woman or something like that.
What?
So he did try to use a woman.
The propaganda,
Never heard
it
that
sounds
story.
like.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to be like, look, I'm trying to do some new shit. This is just how they do now. They try to do something progressive, but then throw in the ulterior
Yeah, because
motive.
Because even Mary Magdalene would say like it's obvious that Paul does not like women. You know, like you know he this and that. Obviously, stuff in the
He's
Bible.
probably like manipulating that woman.
Yeah, you know, it's like how.
Manson.
It's like how right now every politician is like, look, I support the black people. You know, like look at me, I've done this work in the black community. Look at me. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Meeseeks, look at me.
Hey, what's the Crown? Have you in that show? What is the Crown?
I haven't watched this show.
Okay, no. No, the Rick and Morty. There's a character, the Crown or something. The Crown.
Oh, I haven't watched past season 4.
Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I haven't watched past season 3.
I think you're talking about like that drama. There's like a drama called The Crown.
Oh,
It's like,
I think it
About
was
a
it about
prince.
King Henry. The
yeah,
fifth?
but it's like a romantic, right? Like,
No,
no, there's
I
blood.
thought it
and
was
shit.
something serious.
There's fighting.
Yeah,
I always hear women talking about it.
I thought it was how King Henry kind of
Which
took over the
is,
throne.
I'm putting them in a category thinking that they don't like the violence, but that's,
They have a lot of historical dramas that are coming out on Netflix. It's pretty interesting. They did one on the Ottoman Empire on Mehmet the.
yeah, you talk about it one time.
That
You
shit
said it was fire.
I'm waiting for the second one to drop. They said they might go to different nations and choose the best, what they consider the conquerors.
Speaking of,
Oh, the next one's gonna be Alexander the Great.
speaking
That's what it's gonna
of
be.
conquerors, I just got through listening to like what is it? I think it was a 5-hour podcast on the like Genghis Khan and the whole Mongolians.
Hey, aren't
Oh,
most
man.
people related to Genghis Khan?
That's what it says. Because
That's what they
these
say.
dudes did go around
Busting
conquer.
nuts everywhere.
Because they did conquer a lot of areas, bro. And wherever they went, they conquered it. When they conquered it, they rape, pillage, all that shit, you know. By the way, this is not different than any other people have ever.
No, the Vikings, the Spanish,
The Vikings,
Europeans,
the Americans,
British,
the Japanese,
Americans.
you know, the name anybody that conquered it, the Greeks, the Romans, anybody that conquered anybody did all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
They're all guilty.
But with the Khans, they actually had a name.
The Khan,
saying-
the Genghis Khans?
Yeah, the Mongols, the Khans, whatever you want to call them.
See, Khan is just a title. His name is
Yeah.
not Genghis Khan. His name is
Right.
Temujin.
Yeah. But they had a saying was don't kill the envoy, because every time that they got into a conflict, they would send an envoy, and all they would want was money, tribute. They didn't want to really fight at first unless you really wanted it.
Right.
But some of them made the mistake, and the Russians made this big mistake back.
Russians, the people from Baghdad,
They were Slavs.
His name it.
They tried to go
The
against-
Chinese, I think they did.
They
the
didn't
same.
want to
Yeah.
pay tribute. They didn't want to pay taxes.
No,
to
no,
Khan.
see,
No.
no. The envoy is the messenger.
Yeah.
So basically, he's Genghis. You're an opposing ruler. He sends me to go tell you, yo, I come from the Mongol land and the Mongol kingdom, the Mongol dynasty. I come on behalf of Genghis Khan, and he would like to know if you're on his side or not.
And I'd be like, fuck that fat fuck.
And he killed me, and you kill me.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then the Mongols come and they rape and pillage and kill your whole land.
I'm like, damn, I should have just
See, yeah.
made a deal, man.
Here's
Yeah.
one thing. Right now, me and Romo and I are also watching. We're taking a class on Roman, the Roman,
The rise of the Roman Empire.
rise and fall of the Roman Empire, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that they asked in that lecture was, did the Romans conquer the world accidentally or was it on purpose? And you see, our theory, because you know, I think if anyone goes and looks at how it worked and how Rome went and did their shit, you can tell Rome purposely conquered. They didn't accidentally come up on nothing. Their purpose was to conquer and everything.
Yeah.
But the Mongols, you maybe you couldn't argue too far, but you could have a legit argument about that. They kind of accidentally became the conquerors of the whole like steppes and the Middle East and in Russia
and-
because
yeah.
because like I said, They only came and conquered after you went and killed the messenger that they sent.
I was gonna say, like, if they weren't conquered, like it was either conquer or be conquered.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that.
It was just acknowledge us, kind of in a way. Like maybe Genghis Khan did say like acknowledge that you submit to us or there's war. You could have at least said, all right, give me that smoke. But you killed his boy. Yeah. I mean, you kind of asking for it.
I know he could have tried to negotiate or something.
There was you throw all talking off the table.
And it's like they didn't do their research. They must not know the power.
You kill me after he sends me a message. Do you expect him to want to talk to you at all now?
Right, he fucked up.
They actually took, a lot of them took it like an insult, and instead of sending a response and saying no, or let's work something out, let's not be whatever, or just paying the damn tribute, they just killed the damn envoy. And in the most horrific way possible, and display him in front of.
Ooh, they do like a blood eagle or some shit.
Yeah, they would ask for it. I mean, what do you want me to do? I send you my boy to go over there and ask for money or whatever. We won't conquer your shit. But instead of sending him back in one piece, I may have had mercy on you. But you cut his head off and you display him in front of me. What else am I gonna do?
Man, look, let me see.
Did y'all watch that Netflix movie about it was with Chris something? And it was like with the Prince of Wales, and he was like a Scottish king, and he like, man, I forgot what it was called. I don't know if it was The Last King or.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, but
they're talking about Last King.
Right, when he
where he came back and he.
Yeah, to get his
come
wife
back
and
as an
shit.
adult. Yeah.
But bro, what stuck with me for some reason, like the way you said it, like it just the part where the Prince of Wales is looking for the King of the Scots. And there's that dude, and he like just cuts open his guts, and his guts just spill out, and he like pulls them out and shit. And it's just like so savage, bro. It fucked me up a little bit. I'm an adult. I watched that shit recently.
Some savage times, man.
Bro. That's just crazy that they put it on Netflix. Gangsters, bro. They don't give a fuck, bro. They put everything, titty. They just don't put dick. I'm glad. But that's the only thing.
Well, I'm waiting for the last episode to drop about the supernova of the East, which is about Japan and how they rose during the early 20th century, late 19th century.
Oh, that's interesting, bro. I learned a little bit about that in my history class last semester. So I wrote about feudalism, and then I learned about the Black Samurai, which I touched on way back when we first started.
Where did they tell you feudalism started?
Oh, I don't know about where it started. And I probably got some CTE. All I remember right now is that feudalism in Japan and feudalism in Europe are similar. They're in completely different places. Man, I wrote a whole paper, bro. This is sad. I can't even think about. I'll get back to you next time.
Save for the next subject.
Yeah, I'll bring that paper or some shit.
So the Mongols, one of the things that they were known for, which also the Spartans were known for, is the shit talking. Like for example, when it was time to go to war, like, you know, imagine it's wrestling, right? You know, and they're like talking shit, hey brother, kick your ass. You know,
Vikings would do that too because it like scares the other people kind of.
Yeah, it's intimidation. Yeah. So I'm trying to find here an excerpt from one of the Mongols' speeches, but man, I'm having a hard time. So y'all keep talking.
An excerpt from a Mongol speech.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's like now what they say on South Park? No Mongols. When they kept breaking into his, it was a Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah, they kept breaking down the wall he was building around the city because apparently there was some pandemic or something that was coming around, so they wanted to build a wall around the city. And then he was the only Chinese dude in the town that asked him to do it, so he was building it.
Bro, that show is classic. I'm not even caught up with it though. I wish they would like upgrade the animation, but I guess that's what keeps it real as well.
Oh, now that I remember the episode, it was actually about pedophilia. Yeah, it's because somebody came up with the way to call 911 on their parents, and a lot of them went to prison, or one of them raped one of them, and they didn't know who, and it really wasn't true. It was just a made-up story. But nobody knew who to trust, so they sent the kids out, and they left South Park, and they went outside and were with the Mongolians.
Gee, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's another thing. The way that comedians are like some of the most honest commentators of current events and social issues. The same as cartoons, adult cartoons. It's like almost like free reign. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like if you're making a joke about it, then it's okay to say some real shit. But if you're serious, then it's like, nah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know?
They'll let it happen to a certain extent. You take it to a certain level, then they're gonna start. All right, we're gonna change this up.
Yeah. Then they'll scare you and be like Malcolm X or something.
Yeah.
Pancho Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feudal period in Japan was 1185 to 1603. And there's lords, vassals. We talked about this one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the samurais are fascinating. The way that that's a major difference. And I do remember that, like, for instance, like a knight wasn't held to as high of a standard as a samurai. A samurai was expected to read poetry. They were expected to meditate. They were expected to play an instrument, and they were also expected to commit seppuku, right? And
You know what things would
or I mean, they were just hardcore as fuck, right? But the knights, more often than not, they would just get drunk. They would go to church and they would do like a, or whatever, but they didn't have to read. They weren't meditating or anything like that. So it was, they were vibing on a higher frequency for sure. They knew what they were doing. And that's what kept them so powerful and kept them protected for so long. The tiny little island and shit, you know what I'm saying? Kept the Chinese away. Kept everybody away.
Well, I think a lot of people wanted to keep away from the Japanese because these guys were very warring with each other, and they were very good warriors at the same time.
The samurais, bro, they were killers. And the ninjas and shit, bro.
No, God.
Oh my God.
By the way, I got an excerpt. All right, background. So the Vatican, at one point, the Pope at this time was Pope
Inocencio. There's a lot of Inocencio, and they were not innocent at all.
Damn. Whatever. I mean, he was a pope at this time, right? So anyhow, the Pope tried to get the Mongols to like submit to the church and God's will, right?
Right.
And he sent a messenger, and the Mongols received this letter, and they were like, "Oh, because see, the thing about this letter is it was written in a language that the Mongols wasn't the original language. So in order to translate it to this language, they had to translate it to Russian and then to his language. So it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So when it finally goes to the three translation, Guyuk, at this time who's leading the Mongols, goes, "Oh, this Pope wants some smoke." So I'm gonna read you a little excerpt of what he wrote. He wrote about the Pope. He wrote this back, and this letter is in the Vatican archives. You can go look for it, but it's obviously not in English.
Right.
All right.
And it's in display or something?
Yeah. So here's how he ended it. He goes, "Through the power of God, all empires from the rising of the sun to its setting have been given to us, and we own them. How could anyone achieve anything except by God's order? Now, however, you must say with a sincere heart, we shall be obedient. We too make our strength available. You personally, at the head of the kings, you shall come, one and all, to pay homage to me and to serve me. Then we shall take note of your submission. If, however, you do not accept God's order and act against our command, we shall know that you are our enemies. This is what we make known to you. If you act against it, how then can we know what will happen? Only God knows." Bam! That's the end
This
of
is
it.
the Mongols?
Yeah, they wrote this to the Vatican.
Oh, that's very poetic almost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's way longer than that.
forgive me for being ignorant, but I guess hearing, because the word Mongol,
Oh, well, think about it like this.
I don't think of like a person who can read and write.
Here's the thing. They started off like that. Like, it was said that these people started off having to sew the skin of field mice together for clothes. That's how poor they were. They were just super simple
It
farmers.
started from the ground.
Yeah.
Dirt.
And then the first people that they went to war with were China. Some of the first people that they conquered, right? Britain, that we know. They probably went to war with a whole bunch of other tribes before they went to head with China. But once they finally figured out how to go with China, this is what they did. They didn't go and take Chinese cities and no, they took Chinese engineers, Chinese people who knew how to read and write, Chinese, astronomers, people, and they made them and they had them teach everyone how that should work.
Damn,
So see,
that's smart
they
as fuck, bro.
started out as a nothing, but they knew what to take to become a something, because by the end of this, there's generations of Mongols that don't know what it was like to be poor. They were born into.
So I wonder if were they influenced by the Roman Empire? Like
I'm gonna say Chinese, because they were there from that area, right?
the Chinese were powerful as fuck, bro.
Chinese,
They just don't teach us that
yeah,
much about
and the
them.
Chinese have always been incredibly smart, incredibly.
They created gunpowder.
Yeah, the whole reason why, one of the big reasons that the Mongols were able to go and conquer everywhere they went was because of the siege engines that they had. The Chinese guys that they kidnapped basically won over, right? Like, this is your army guy. Well, I'm stealing him. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's what we did with the Nazis too.
Yeah,
man.
basically they would go around creating this crazy shit from the Chinese Empire and go and use it against other places, and it worked. I mean, they conquered, you name it, the Russians.
The Russians, everywhere in the Baltics,
The Middle
anywhere in
East.
the Middle East,
Yeah,
anywhere down there in,
You know
in
what?
Minor Asia.
It is said that they fucked
Asian
up
Minor.
Baghdad so bad. They fucked it up so bad that it took until just like the 1950s for Baghdad to go back to how it was when the Mongols conquered.
Damn.
That's how bad they fucked up Baghdad. I could read you. I could probably find you the letter that the Baghdad king sent to the Mongols and got him his ass kicked. And if you read it, you'd be like,
Because of
man,
him, Baghdad was destroyed.
yes,
Yeah.
Centuries.
Yeah.
yes.
Can you imagine like going down in history as that guy?
Well, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He's not the only
Shit.
one. The Russian
his
guy,
family?
the Russian guy that went against the Mongols,
Right.
he got his whole thing fucked
All
up
of them
too.
got
Generations.
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
Apparently, this is the backstory to that. Was that there was at least 7 to 12 princes. They were all scattered across a little smaller part of Russia. They were roofs is what they were.
Right.
The roofs. They were all princes.
R.U.S.
Yeah, they went against the Vikings in the Viking show.
Yeah, they basically took their land.
Yeah.
So the one prince went and they all made a treaty with each other. Basically, it was a signed piece of sheet for all of them. Like anytime any of them go to war, they will all unite, go and face the enemy.
Alliance.
Well,
Sort
they
of.
thought so unlikely of the fucking Mongols that only maybe 6 of the 12 of them, or
Signed
even came with army.
Oh shit! Disrespectful motherfuckers, bro.
They thought they could run through. No,
They
came
didn't-
in,
but they didn't
destroyed
know.
that army. Came in, sacked one city, went in and sacked the other ones. It was bad.
So they went city by city.
These were the only. Yeah, they went city by city and conquered every one of them until they finally paid them tribute. This is the only nation to ever go into Russia and conquer and take the capital. Nobody else has ever done that.
Was it Moscow? What's the capital?
Napoleon tried, couldn't do it. Hitler fucking tried, couldn't do it. Telling you, bro, these Mongols were something else, and they did it on horseback. On horseback.
Damn, that's genius, bro.
It is. It's
It's like the
gangsta.
Native Americans, bro. If the Native Americans would have had just a little bit of leg up, they would have had more fight against the Europeans.
Cause see, here's the thing. When
Aztecs too.
And,
Well-
because like you said, they would have leg up. When gunpowder came into use, because of those Chinese dudes that they had on their team, they already had gunpowder, bro.
Yeah.
By the time gunpowder started becoming popular, the Mongols had adapted to it. They had it too. It said that they had explosives they would throw. Like, they were advanced, bro. They were advanced and disciplined. It was scary. It was scary.
Intelligent from what I'm learning, man.
Yeah. Look, this is what I love. You know how they learned how to like herd humans when they went on when they went on campaigns, how to capture motherfuckers. They trained by herding animals because they realized that animals and humans react the same once you start herding them into horses, right? And so what they would do is they saw
It's like
that
fear kicks in.
when you surround them, and even if you leave just a little bit of a hole, that animal would just run through that hole because it's looking for any escape. And they realized humans do the same thing.
And they just start
So
shitting
they would,
at that
they
hole.
would just set up little openings in there. It was, bro, these guys were vicious.
It's crazy because I'm as a peaceful person who's against violence, I love these stories.
Oh, me
You
too.
know, it's weird, right?
Oh, yeah, see, that's one
I
of the
love
reasons.
Vikings and these fighting these wars, but at the same time, I would never want
Yeah.
to kill another man.
Like, let me tell you, I got into history after getting into a course for Alexander the Great and how he conquered the world at that point, right? And that's all violence, all bad shit that we'd be totally against. You know what I'm saying? But it got me into history. And yeah, what I love about history, I don't care about how the life and culture was. I care about the conquering. I want to know who took what. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what makes it interesting, like
Yeah.
on the shows too, like the historical shows when they have the battles and shit. I mean, sometimes the details are cool too because real people were going through that and they kind of like you connect with those characters. Like, damn, like maybe I'd be like this if I was maybe I would have been a spy for America, you know what I mean, to try to get out of the British. Or maybe I would have been fighting to help the British against Vikings or something. I don't know, you never know. But you just connect with certain characters. And it was crazy, as humans, we're so empathic that we, like women watch the novella and then they feel those emotions. Just like us, when we watch these wars, we feel that shit. And it's almost like an instinctual animal thing that we're missing in our lives, and that's why we find it in those shows or reading about it and shit. It's like we're living vicariously through it.
I almost think it's also just because, if you believe that all humans have lived, many lifetimes before, then we probably lived through those times at some time.
What if those things, like how certain things spark your interest, certain things spark my interest, certain things spark Romo interest in history, what if those are the times that we lived in?
Like how we think he's a murderer in another
That's
past
a
life
fact.
because of how he's into all that creepy shit, like the...
Like maybe he was like that first serial killer in Chicago.
Yeah,
That had like
yeah.
that, built that like hotel and shit that
Yeah.
trapped people. He was a genius.
I guess.
That's probably why I'm serving some karma right now. I don't know why.
That's why he's a dumbass in this lifetime. I was too smart the last one. I became a murderer. Now I'm
He
a
got caught, I
fucking
think.
idiot.
I think he did get caught.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think you were a serial killer. You're
But we think you're a fucking idiot.
I was gonna say you're probably a village idiot or something. You know what I'm saying? Always fucking shit up. But maybe not.
Hey, what's the clock say?
It says 46 minutes.
Damn, shorter than I thought.
Yeah, I'm talking for a little while.
See,
So-
we mostly been previewing the Bible and things in the episode, and now we basically just gave a little preview of what high historian would be like. You know what I'm saying?
So if you think God has a gender, you think it's a woman?
Hey man, that's an open-ended question there. Yeah, I mean,
How
Yeah.
it's possible, right?
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
stand on his side.
I think God could be an entity that interprets whatever you need it to be. Whatever you need and whoever you need him to convince you.
Well, I'm
that
just
he's
saying
God
because
will
I mean,
project,
like
God will project himself to be, at least in my opinion.
yeah, but all I'm saying is I agree with that. But I imagine like he's not gonna come to me as a dove, or he might,
Yeah,
right, as a
I'm
bird.
saying-
But
You know
what I'm
what's
saying is like
what's
he
gonna
made
happen
us.
now? You're gonna be smoking outside, and the bird's
Oh.
gonna come sit next to you and start talking to you and be like,
Yeah.
I don't know about talking to this
Man.
shit, but when I see birds, bro, so they're amazing creatures.
maybe
but-
you were a bird in the past life.
It's gonna
Oh,
come.
for sure,
Like,
bro. I
you're
flew. I flew. So I was probably one of the Wright brothers flying and shit.
Could have been.
I was the first to get high. In that way.
Physically,
Yeah. But what was I gonna say?
birds, God, gender.
In fact, he'll come to you in a dream as a white dove.
No, that we are made in this image.
You think
Right.
God looks like us?
Yeah,
So maybe God is a
I feel.
bigender, or it's just a female because it's the nipples. Or yeah, that. What is that called again?
Androgynous.
Androgynous.
Yeah, we could look that up. Hey, look, I look it up because maybe that word is something that we haven't heard too often.
Sounds like an asteroid.
What do you think androgynous means, Romo? If you just heard that word, what does it sound like?
Androgynous.
Superhero.
If I'm first ever hearing it,
Yeah.
I feel like you're about to tell me something offensive,
All right, the word androgynous.
like
Means-
misogynist or something.
The word androgynous means partly male and partly female in appearance, of indeterminate sex.
Yeah.
There you
See, I
go.
wouldn't think that
so
just by the word.
So I guess that is that what you mean, baby Chris? Like that God, he wouldn't be one or the other,
Right.
or
Yeah.
he or she. My bad, he or she.
That. Yeah, it's possible. It's completely possible.
Do we need another pronoun for this?
I don't know. I just pray to God.
I agree with you on what you said a minute ago. I mean, I think we can all talk to him within ourselves. I think God.
The temple, bro. The temple.
Yeah.
This is the temple that they say we got to. Some people say you got to go to church and donate and shit, bro. The temple's our mind, our body, our spirit, or soul.
Mm.
Pray to it.
That's what it says in the Bible too.
In the Quran, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. So, you want to call it a wrap?
Man, this got pretty preachy, huh?
I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, bro, and it's only natural. Hopefully next
Yeah.
week things are lighter. You know, hopefully
will.
we can be lighter. But if not, shit, I mean, it is what it is. Gotta keep it 100 for the people.
Yeah. So I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah, man. Peace.
I guess
love.
check.
And Everybody be fucking careful, man, because all this shit going on with the planets and shit. Be positive.
And it's hot. It's hot as fuck.
It's about to get hot.
Yeah, man, if you ain't gotta be outside, don't be outside. You don't get dehydrated.
Bro, it's hot. Like, man, this summer's gonna be a bitch. Right? I can imagine, bro. It's gonna be like 130 or something.
Damn.
Nah, God forbid.
It's like desert.
Hey, it does get like that, right? Like in Phoenix and shit.
Yeah, Arizona, New Mexico,
Fuck
Nevada.
that, bro.
Cause see,
Fuck
look,
that.
in Colorado they have these sand dunes in Alamosa, right? They have the sand dunes, and at night it's cool as fuck. Like it gets like 40 degrees, but in the daytime, because of the sand and how it reflects the sunlight, it gets hot as fuck out there.
Well, yeah, doesn't one of the, I don't know if it's the Sahara. I remember as a kid learning about some deserts, period, that they're super fucking hot at night.
Yeah.
And they're super fucking cold. I mean, they're super hot in the day.
Yeah.
It's super cold at night.
Yeah, that's how it is over there, in like Middle
So you'd be like,
yeah. That's for that basically Afghanistan, Baghdad, out there.
And sand. I mean, that was probably all ocean. That's all water.
Some people have a theory that they're like, especially over there by Egypt, where that desert is,
Right.
that we know that they used to be luscious fertile land, right?
Yeah.
Some people say that it turned to sand because of the nuclear war.
Oh, that's what Atlantis? You think it's connected to Atlantis, or would that be separate?
Hey, shit.
Who knows, man?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows, right? I just like that theory because it's true. They've even found there's even history. That green beetle that they you sometimes see signified. It's the green beetle because they found this green piece of stone, and you can only really make stone that hot with a nuclear explosion or something land like a meteor or an asteroid.
Space.
So basically,
UFO.
something blew the fuck up, and they took this fertile Egypt and turned it into a sand.
That's where everything came from.
You gotta remember
Africa.
in the 30s, the Sphinx was only up to about its head exposed. Who knows that there's other shit like way deeper under that motherfucker? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, on Easter Island, which I think the natives don't like it to be called that, but
Why? What's wrong with Easter?
I don't know.
Who are the natives? Where's Easter Island?
I don't know. I don't know, but the heads, they said they found out there's shit underneath it now, right?
Well,
They
what?
Isn't there bodies
I
underneath?
need to update these.
You gotta add like heads and toes and shit.
Put it
I mean,
right.
heads and toes.
When I see those, it reminds me of the Crash Bandicoot, the Urba. You know what I'm saying?
I never played that game.
What?
Except for when I go to my friend's house. I was part of it. You still recording, right?
Yeah.
I was a Nintendo family since I've been born. The NES, Super Nintendo, N64. But when I would go to friends' house, then I play a Sega or a PlayStation and shit. But that was always foreign to me. I'm like, Crash Bandicoot, what is this crap? Where's my Mario Bros at? No offense to all the PS fuckers out there, including y'all.
Man.
You know what?
That's so
Kinda
offended,
triggered.
bro.
I think we should end this
For real.
podcast.
But I respect it because when my aunt had her ex-husband, when my cousin was little, I used to go to their house and I would listen to his rap albums that were uncensored. That was when I first heard Marshall Mathers LP, cussing, and that changed my life. But he also had a PlayStation, and that was my favorite thing to do over there.
See,
I mean, I respect all systems, bro.
You're another person Eminem corrupted.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
Have you heard his recent one where he takes responsibility for what he did?
Is it on the music to be murdered to or something
Yeah.
like that? Nah.
Yeah, he basically says it in his album. He's like, if you grew up listening to my music as a teenager, I'm the
Like,
one
you told me
responsible for you fucking retarded.
You didn't tell me this? That he had a line in his other album?
I don't remember this.
I do remember this because he don't listen to Eminem. You had to have told me this.
You don't listen to Eminem?
I do. But
Yeah,
not his
part
recent
white.
shit.
Oh, so where'd you hear this? You thought you heard from me, or did you hear from
Nah,
Oh,
I heard it. I actually listened to the song.
me? Oh,
Yeah.
it's probably from me.
Oh, that ranch man.
We both have glasses, and sometimes you get us confused. Sometimes it's like Chris.
But yeah, this fool took responsibility. He even apologized to the parents.
Interesting.
It's too late. Damage been done.
He knew what he was. He knew it.
I knew like 10 years ago that he was depressed, bro. I knew that he regretted a lot of shit that he did. That I feel like he sold his soul and he regretted it. Like a lot of artists do, bro. Once they get in it, they can't get out, and they regret it.
You know the big box.
What was that commercial? What is his name?
I don't even know.
He said, "My name is Carlos and I'm a beatboxer." And the beat was like, boom, boom, boom. It was like
Taco Bell commercial?
I don't know what it was, bro. It was a sad commercial.
Damn, that sounds kind of.
Was it on Spotify or some shit?
It was on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Damn.
That's hilarious. It was one of our dads. I do y'all dads have accents?
Yeah.
Already. That's what's up.
That's episode 15.
16, bro.
Oh,
So I
16.
What's
Nancy
the name of your
Says.
podcast?
My podcast is the Friday Podcast.
Friday.
POTCAST.
Alrighty. Check out the Friday podcast. We'll have a new episode of Vino Ramos Wrestling Podcast up soon. And
Well,
for
don't lie
sure,
to people.
huh?
Don't lie now.
Nah, we got some matches lined up. You know, we just been a little bit in the research. But also, my highest story podcast is coming soon. So
And I was on sleep talking. It's on Spotify. You can find this shit on my Instagram and shit.
oh yeah,
My
your
cousin.
cousin.
And this has been
Shout out to your
another
cousin.
episode of the Odd Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace.
Peace out. I'm about to fart.